Welcome back, it's Chris from the Hagen Factory. So this week we've got my father Alan Strong coming in. We're going to do part 2 of the 350 Velocet clutch. This will be the clutch that we'll use on the 350 Velocet Hagen. We've got all the new parts there, so we'll go through all that. Al will give us a few tips and tricks on getting this thing to work perfectly, so that'll be great. And then we've got, later on in the video, I'll show you a few photos and videos of Dougal James's bike collection at the Black Swan Hotel in Bendigo. The Black Swan Hotel's open from Thursday to Sunday every week. It's worth getting down there to have a look, get some great bikes and some nice cold beer. So let's have a look. So we're here with my father Alan Strong, as you all know, you've seen him before. We're back on the clutch for the 350 Velo, and he's going to tell us why this clutch is going to work. So here we go.
Righto, the main reason that this clutch will work is because it's going to have all the right components in it. This is a second-hand chain wheel, which is in quite good condition. I've popped one insert out just to show you, and here's the bag of brand new inserts that will go in there. Now, we also have a more modern part. The old Velocet ones weren't quite like this, but this is the throw-out bearing that actually pushes the clutch out. Now,
so the early one had a cage.
The early one had something that looked very similar to that.
Yeah, yep.
But it had balls in it, but not rollers.
Oh, okay, yep.
Righto, now there's the new rollers for it.
Yep.
This is a much improved item. Now it's got the cup that fits in the back of the gearbox. That pops on there like that with the rollers in it. That goes there like that. Now, in the back of this main backing plate, which is another second-hand plate, but it's in quite good condition, there's 3 holes in the back of it, as you can see there. And they're the little thrust pins. They go in those holes. And that pushes up against the thrust pins.
Yes.
Which separates the clutch when you pull the lever in on the handlebars. Now, I'll turn this over. That actually goes on the back, by the way. That goes between the gearbox. That's the spacer between the gearbox and the clutch.
Yep.
And they're different on each clutch, as this is different on each clutch.
So from 350 to 500, or just each 350?
Older. As the clutches get older, these, or newer, they improve them. So some of the early ones are different.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. Okay, so as they improve them, they got a bit better. Now, these are another really important innovation. Before, these were inserted with these same inserts as goes in the chain wheel, but now these are bonded.
So a modern style clutch.
They're a modern style clutch. You can get variations on these. I've had them with that's just a one piece all the way around, but this looks a bit like a segmented one, but it's actually a bonded plate. And because they're actually bigger, you do get the more surface area.
Yep.
Which
makes sense, yeah.
Makes sense, and it makes for a clutch that will not slip if it's set up right.
Fantastic.
Okay, now, in the middle of this chain wheel, there's a large bearing goes in there. It's a ball race.
Yeah, we saw that on the last one.
Yeah, and that goes on, that actually fits on there, and the ball race runs in that groove there. Okay? So, now this is the front plate. That's the spring holder. That's where the springs go. And they're held in with a big nut that goes on the front, screws onto the main shaft that comes through that spline there.
Yep.
Okay, now
no worries.
We'll go to the steel plates which go in between. There's 2 types here. This is the solid type plate, which all Velos had those years ago. But one thing with a Velo clutch, if you sat there at an intersection holding the clutch in, these got very hot and they buckled.
Yeah, okay.
And they were a problem when they buckled. But this is the revised plate that you can get. These slots in here do actually stop it from buckling when it gets hot.
Yeah, fantastic.
And they work much better.
Right.
Okay, so
all this stuff's available through the Velo Club?
All of it is available.
Yep.
Yep, no problem. So this is how they built up. You have that one, then we'll use this one here.
The segmented.
Yeah. Okay, and that goes there, and it fits into these little slots around here, like this, those, the teeth, the tangs on it.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. Okay, and this one goes on the top, like so, and then we use another one of these, goes that way, and then the outer plate goes on, and then these tangs, once again, go into these slots around here. Okay, so that all fits together like so. That's not actually sitting together as it should, but you line them all up, and the trick is, when it's all together, you can tie it together with a couple of bits of string or a couple of big rubber bands, and you can actually pick it up as a unit and fit it onto the bike without it all falling to bits on you. Okay? So,
fantastic. So we mentioned that last time.
Yeah.
I'll put up what video that was, so you can go back if you want to have a look at the old style clutch that we were mucking around with.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
So, and
that'll work great, won't it?
Yeah, well, it was going to. It was going to be fine. And I didn't put that one in there a moment ago, but I've just popped it in just to show you how it all fits together like so.
Fantastic.
Okay.
That's
and
really
then when you put all the springs in, a lot of people try and screw the nut on without a thin shim washer that covers all the tops of the springs, which you smear a little bit of grease on. You screw the big centre nut on with a special spanner, and you tighten it right. And it's got to be, a lot of people too, I don't know why, but they tend not to want to tighten that centre nut up properly. You've got to knock that up until it's tight.
Yeah.
You must knock it up until it's tight.
Yeah, so if they don't do it up, the clutch will move.
Yep.
Over inflate, won't it?
And when you pull the clutch in, all the whole clutch will move in and out.
Yeah, too much inflate. Yep.
Now, for the adjustment. Once you get all this assembled with the nut and everything on it, and your springs around it, if you want to tighten the clutch, if you want to make it, just say it's slipping, if you want to change that, you actually wind that out and that compresses the springs more against the nut.
Yeah, okay, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. And if you want to, if it's dragging, you can
lighten her off a bit.
You can lighten her off a little bit.
Yep.
But when you assemble the whole clutch and get on the bike, you need that as far down as you can get it until it starts to lift the clutch.
Yep.
That'll give you a good starting point to actually get the nut to start on the main shaft.
Yeah, fantastic.
Okay, so it'll be down about there somewhere like that.
Yep.
And there's also a spanner that you can make up for fits on there for adjusting that.
Big C spanner.
Yeah, you can use like a big C spanner or something like that.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Well, that's really good.
Yep. So that clutch will work. There's no question about it.
Well, thanks for sharing your experience and knowledge. We really appreciate it.
No worries. If anybody ever wants to ask any questions about it,
feel free to message us.
If you want to know something.
Get in touch with us. We're still chasing a rocker cover for a all alloy Mac if anyone's got one, and we might be interested in some other stuff too. So what you got. Righto. Really appreciate it. Thanks, Al, for that.
No worries. My pleasure.
Thank you.
All right.
Right, I'd like to thank Al, the Father Alan, for coming in and going through the clutch with us. So let's have a look at the bikes down at the Black Swan Hotel. Righto, the same as every other week. If you like what you see, like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell everybody. Let's bring Hagen's back.